And welcome to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of May 7th. Okay, since January, I've been working with our clients all over North America on a very simple thought. How do we get everybody to get more involved in listing property? Because, as we know, nationally and in almost every market, there is a shortage, period, of listings. The demand for properties is at the highest it's been in many, many years. So what I'm going to do for the next several weeks, I'm going to take you through a little series of thoughts that I'm doing on my West Coast Superstar Retreat Tour. And my purpose is really very simple. I want to share with you what I share with our best clients on how to list more property. So I'm going to ask all of you to start with this thought. I'm going to ask you to write down the numbers 25, 50, 75, and 100. Write down those four numbers. And the purpose of those four numbers is really quite simple yet quite complex, because I want you to think 6 months, 12 months, 18 months out from now. Could you, as an individual, take 25 listings per year? Could you take 50, 75, or 100? And what I want you to do is I want you then to circle the one that you think is best meets your needs, your desires, your goals, etc. Interestingly enough, as I've done this tour here on the West Coast, I get this kind of a thought all the time. But Mike, I've only taken 3 listings this year. Is it even possible for me to take 25, 50, 75, etc.? And the answer is 100% yes, if you just start to change a few basic things about how you work. So first of all, I asked our coaches about 2 weeks ago, probably mid-April. I said, I think there was 12 coaches. I sent them a note and said, okay, how many, out of all of our coaching clients that you coach, and I said this to 12 out of 90 coaches, how many of your clients are going to list 100 plus homes for sale this year? Not a team, just an individual agent following the Mike Ferry sales system is going to list over 100 homes. So I want to share this. You're not going to be able to see this well, but I started making a list of the names they sent me. So here's 1 through 25. Here's 26 through 50. That's a lot, okay? And then I turn the page and we have 51 through 75 and 76 through 100. Now remember, this is 12, 14 coaches out of 90. And then it continues down to 109. So here's 109 names of people that they believe and they know, and they're going to list 100 homes in 2018. So here's what I want to say to you today. There's a couple critical thoughts. First of all, if you are open-minded, and that's hard, I mean, it's hard to be open-minded, as to what you could accomplish, there's no doubt you could do a lot more listings than what you think you can do, whether it be 25 or 100. But you have to be open-minded, meaning that as a real estate sales professional, you have to say to yourself, I can versus I can't. You know, it all starts with mindset. You know, you've heard me say in the past, mindset, skills, activities, action. That's the 4 key words for building productivity: mindset, skills, activities, action. The mindset, of course, is what's going on in your head at a given moment regarding a thought, a word, a person, an activity, an action, something that you've seen. Well, what is your mindset towards listing property? Can you see yourself listing 25, 50, 75, 100? And if you think you can see yourself doing it, we can show you the path to get on. So you have to be open-minded. Second, I wrote down, you have to be willing to accept and develop some new sales habits. That's a hard one. You know, as you've heard me say in the past, unfortunately, a major portion of all the people that go into real estate do not have a direct sales experience. We are in the direct sales business. Selling real estate is direct sales. Now, retail, shopping center, a mall, a nice storefront, people come and find you. Direct sales, we got to go find them. So the question is, do you see yourself as a direct salesperson? And if you do, then you know that you have to try to accept and develop sales habits. Now, anything we do in life is a series of habits. Our life is a series of habits. Are your habits leading you to more listings? Are your habits leading you to more sellers? Or are your habits leading you to a level of non-productivity, which makes no sense? So yes, you can do this if you develop new habits. Then I wrote down third, if you'll accept the fact that it could take 2 or 3 years to get yourself into this mindset, these activities to become a strong listing agent. Now, you're going to say, well, I don't want to wait 2 or 3 years to become better. Well, now think about this. Here we are on May 7th. You commit to what we're discussing right now, and you work on it for several months. And each week, because I'm going to cover a lot of material over the next 4 to 5 weeks with you, each week you take that set of thoughts and you implement it. Each week you're going to get stronger, better skills, then leads production, listings, commission checks. It all comes together, but it takes time. All right, here's the example I give. Is it easier to gain weight or lose weight? The answer is gain weight. We can have one weekend of pigging out and we gain 3 or 4 pounds. Try to take it off. It takes time. Try to get into better shape. It takes time. Try to read a 400-page book. It takes time, even if you're a speed reader. Everything takes more time than what we'd like to agree with. So accept the fact that it could take 2 or 3 years to get you the numbers you want, but that's okay because you're getting better and improving every month because of your activity. But then the fourth thought I wrote down is this, okay? You can do 25, 50, 75, 100 if you're willing to think and work outside of your comfort zone. So I wrote down a question. What do you really want for yourself and your family financially? What do you want? And are you getting it through your present activities as a real estate sales professional? And if the answer is yes, hats off to you. Congratulations. If the answer is I want more, we got to change our sales habits. We got to change what we do, what we say, how we do it. And that again takes time. So yes, you can do dramatically more than what you're doing if you choose to do it. You and I both know that if you look at the simplicity of real estate, because I say all the time, selling real estate is really very simple. It's just not very easy. Our job is to get in the way of transactions. So there's 2 ways to make substantial money as a real estate sales professional. Obviously, A, learn to list homes. They're going to sell in the market we're in today. Or second, work with buyers. Now, you already know this, but I want you to take a look at everything you've done in January, February, March, and April. Was most of your business buyer-oriented or seller-oriented? Now, when you discover what you've been doing, you can discover what you have to change. I see this stat all the time. I have no way to verify it, but the stat I keep being told is that up to 90% of all the listings in U.S. are being taken by 10% of the agents. So why is there such an incredible imbalance? Now, in your office, let's say, for example, there's 100 agents that work in your company, your office. And let's say that the office lists 50 to 60 homes a month. 10 or 12 agents are going to list most of those homes, almost every case. That's a huge imbalance. A certain percentage, a small percentage, have figured out that if you list property, you're going to be substantially better off financially than if you're working with buyers. So I want you to listen carefully to what I'm going to say next. The skill level of an agent who works with buyers is 100% different than the skill level of an agent who lists property. In essence, listing property requires a stronger skill set. It's not that one is better than the other. They're both incredibly important activities. They're part of our business. They're part of our industry. It's what we have to do to make money. But is the major portion of what you're doing coming from listing sold? And if it is, then of course we can really make some money. So to list 3 to 5 homes a month, you have to become clear on the following thought. And I want you to watch this Mike Ferry TV every single day this week, because you got to get this thought deeply embedded in that wonderful mind of yours. A buyer will buy a house because of the home that they see. A seller will list their home because of the agent they've encountered and are talking to. Those are 2 different processes. Or in essence, buyers buy in spite of us, and sellers list because of us. So the question is, which one of those 2 are you? So I wrote down, what are the skills necessary to become a great listing agent? What do you have to know? Now, the MO on Mike Ferry. He's the old guy. He's so old-fashioned. He's traditional. He doesn't have a clue. He doesn't know what's going on. He's so out of touch. He's not with what's going on today. I've been hearing this for 43 years, for goodness sakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to say to you now the following. Yes, you can become a great listing agent. However, to become a great listing agent, there are certain skills you're going to have to learn, develop, study, accept, make part of who you are. So next week, on the week of May 14th, we're going to go right to the skills of a great listing agent. I want you to pay attention to this week, watch it every day, think about all the things I've said, embed them into that wonderful head of yours, start making your plan for 25, 50, 75, 100. Then next week we'll cover the skills. I will see you next week. Thanks for today.